Kicking off our look ahead at 2015 are two genres that seemingly couldn't be any different. One puts you in the seats of fancy rides, while the other has you putting bare knuckles to another person's face. What they share is the sense of competition and self-improvement. Both fighting games and racing games take time and patience to get the most out of, practicing to hone your skills and fight your way to the top. Thankfully, on both fronts, this year's crop of games is deliciously diverse. While development has hit some speed bumps, this throwback title hasn't been curbed just yet. Calling back to classics like Daytona USA, the 90s arcade racer promises to capture the look and feel of racing games from a bygone era, and is expected to have some unlockable secrets and 4-player support. Focusing on arena combat similar to Chivalry, Berserkers lets you team up with various Viking classes like Raiders and Drunkards to chop your opponents into a bloody mess. Whether you're getting your power from the heavens or from a strong stein of mead, you can look forward to crushing your enemies however you see fit. And since it takes place in the afterlife, there's no real harm done. It may not be as exciting as an all-new entry in the series, but the definitive version of DOA 5 is on its way for consoles new and old, as well as the PC. Team Ninja is working on including new characters, stages, and loads of customization for a reduced price mid-February. We've eyed this indie darling for a few years now, but now that it's on Steam Early Access, hopefully it won't be much longer before it's complete. The futuristic style feels like a blend between Tron and San Francisco Rush, and the twisted city courses are full of insane dangers and opportunities to venture off the beaten path. The next game in the Dragon Ball saga places a new twist on the story as you battle to fix a rewritten history. Fighting alongside Goku, Vegeta, and the rest of the crew, you'll create an all-new custom character and revisit famous scenarios in order to protect the timeline. We've only recently learned about Drift Stage, but it looks like fans of racers from the 80s and 90s have more than one game to choose from this year. The retro-inspired visuals look fantastic, and we can't wait to run sideways through these curves with a group of friends. Freshly debuted, Forza 6 is finally official. We don't know what lies under the hood yet, but as Forza 5 laid the framework for the series on Xbox One, now it's time for the developers at Turn 10 to build it up with a more robust lineup of cars, tracks, and features for the most consistently excellent series in racing. What may be best described as a competitive version of Octodad. Gang Beasts has you awkwardly punching and grabbing your opponents, attempting to push them out of the ring, all while wearing animal costumes for no apparent reason. The stages are diverse, filled with secrets and physics-based hazards, and even in its early stages, it's been a blast to play so far. For years, fans have clamored for Shonen Jump mashups to come to the US, while many have guessed that licensing barriers could make the dream impossible. However, now, PlayStation owners will be able to pit Naruto against Ichigo or Goku against Luffy, and that's just the beginning of the insanity. Ever since Ed Boon partnered with Warner Brothers, Mortal Kombat seems to have gained ample time to incubate and grow. The previous game put the series back on the map, and so far, everything we've seen from this next project only seems to further that success. From creative new characters to fatalities that make us wince like never before, Mortal Kombat X has the makings to be one of the year's best. The dream of a beautiful racing sim to rival Forza and Gran Turismo has teased fans for years now, but you can only take so many photo galleries and early builds before the excitement starts to wear off. After multiple delays, we're tired of mere potential. Andy Tudor, it's time to wrap this baby up and get it off the test track. We're not sure how we forgot about this game, but getting a fresh look at it is an absolute treat. With guns blazing and vehicles thrown into the mix, classifying it as a fighting game may seem like a stretch, but it has the pedigree to back it up, developed by staff from the Tekken and Soul Calibur games. We hope this 2-on-2 fighter turns out for the best because it looks delightfully insane. A year ago, we barely had much to go on, but as the carnage has progressed, this brutal motorcycle game seems to be approaching its potential as a worthy Road Rash successor. Most of the entries in this video are either distinctly racing games or fighting games. Maybe Road Redemption is both. Perhaps one of the least known titles on this list, this fighter from the makers of Melty Blood is finally making its way out of Japanese arcades. Beefing up the original roster are new characters and modes, and the game sports some nice animation. Fans of BlazBlue, Guilty Gear, and Persona 4 Arena might want to keep an eye out. What we previously knew simply as Bugbear's next car game now has a properly fitting title in Wreckfest. In a time when bigger companies have seemingly abandoned car damage, this team has gone out of their way to make it their focus, bending and ripping metal in glorious ways. It's good to have the game grounded with substantive races, but we can't help but get carried away smashing cars over and over again. Crowdfunded and developed by a trio of former King of Fighters staff members, Yatakarasu has already gotten some underground buzz. It doesn't look to venture too far from tradition, but has some interesting systems of its own. And if you'd rather play on consoles, Nicalis is planning to publish a version for Xbox One and PS4 as well. Our Ultimate Game Preview is just kicking into gear. Come back every day this week to see what else is worth saving your pennies for over the next 12 months. And find out what our top 10 most anticipated games are for 2015 this Friday night. Also, don't forget to click on the link below and vote for your favorites in the community countdown before next Monday, January 26th.